Hello everyone and welcome to the Sports Update. It was a busy week for the Mustang athletes with some great outcomes and exciting finishes. Let's get right to it. Both girls and boys track teams wrapped up their regular season with a tri-meet against Medfield and Ashland at the Reggie Lewis Center. They split both meets, beating Ashland but losing to Medfield. The boys beat Ashland with a score of 65-30 and lost to Medfield 61-34, and the girls took the win against Ashland 59-18 but lost to Medfield 79-16. Congrats to both teams on ending their season on a high note by beating Ashland. The gymnastics team took to the mats, bars, and beams for two meets this week. First against Medway at home. Norwood had some strong performances by senior captain Marion Pastor and freshman Shay Larkey. It was a close one throughout, but Medway edged out Norwood by less than 2 points, winning 135.6 to 133.7. Then on Thursday, the girls were back at it against a very strong Norton team. The Mustangs had another solid performance, but the Lancers were too much to handle, beating Norwood by a score of 142.6 to 133.8. On Wednesday night, the boys of the wrestling team hosted Dedham for their annual Gregory Police Trophy match. From the opening match, it was all Mustangs. Norwood had some strong performances throughout, including senior Jimmy Pinciaro, who talked about what was going through his head as he prepared for his match.
I'm gonna go out there, beat the crap out of this guy. We gotta, put 100% effort in all times and get the win no matter what. That's all that matters. Went good, putting in the hard work, but, I went out there, did my thing, and, that's all we did, and we beat the crap out of Dedham, so it's a win-win.
The Mustangs eventually pinned down Dedham by a score of 54-3, taking home the Gregory Police Trophy. Junior Jack Brady reflects back on his match.
I was tired, but just kind of powered through it. Got slammed at one point, but I got up. I think I was losing on points. I was down like 12-9, I think. But I got his arms, I turned him over, and I hooked his head. So he ended up on his back, and I ended up with 6 points for the team.
This was the first time the Mustangs have defeated Dedham to take home the Gregory Police Trophy, and they did it in dominating fashion. On the ice, the boys hockey team had a week off due to a postponement on Saturday, then a scheduled day off on Wednesday. But there was a reunion of boys hockey players last weekend at the skating club. This was the very first alumni game to be held at the new home of the Mustangs. Over 25 players laced it up, and many of them still look like they could play for the Mustangs. There was some great passing, nice goals, and a lot of smiles on the ice. The event was sponsored by the Friends of Norwood Hockey and was a fundraiser for this year's boys hockey team. The girls team continued their winning ways as they picked up 2 more wins this week. First over Canton 3-0, who has been a long-time thorn in the side of the Mustangs. Second was a 4-3 win at home against Mansfield Oliver Ames Foxborough. It was a back-and-forth game, but junior Morgan Roach came up big late in the game. As we see her here, she steals the puck, walks around the defenseman, and goes top shelf for the game winner. The boys basketball team has been off since last Tuesday due to a few postponements, but they will be back in action this Friday and next week against Medway, Dover Shoreborn, and Walpole. The girls basketball team rolled over Millis this week with a score of 62-28. It was a good all-around effort with 10 players scoring in the win. And finally, the event of the week undoubtedly goes to the athletes of the swim team. Thursday night, the Mustangs took on the Norwell Clippers in the 3rd annual Nor Cup. It was a back-and-forth meet that came down to the final heat of the night. As the teams took to the blocks for the 200 relay, Norwood was trailing by 2 points and needed a first and third finish to retain the cup. The first 2 legs of the relay saw Norwood behind by a significant margin until the third swimmer, Joe Green, hopped in the pool. Joe closed the gap to make it almost a tied race going into the anchor leg. Let's listen to the call from Mark Hoover and myself.
So Shane Bateman in lane 3, he'll start off, but Green did a great job of closing that. Oh, and they're off and raring to go. So it's coming down to this between Bateman and DeMattia. This is going to be a fun one. Wow. They kicked the wall real close.
Wow, David's swimming a great race so far.
Oh, this would be huge if he could hold this one here. As Patrick Ebram jumps in for Norwood, he's on the last one.
Oh, and he turns and he's in head.
I think David might have him by a touch here right now, but we'll see what happens.
Wow. This is going to be unbelievable.
We talked about getting loud. This is huge.
It's going to come down to the touch, I think.
And they both know where each other is, too.
David got it.
I think he got it.
Mark was able to catch up with the first place relay team and the winners of the North Cup following the race.
Well, I am here with the 400 relay squad that pulled this thing out here right at the end. Unbelievable. We knew coming in tonight, listening to your coaches, that this was going to be a good, close meet. And you guys did not disappoint going into the end. So before we get started, real quick, head on down the line. Just introduce yourselves for the folks here.
My name is Jake Wilkinson.
I'm David DiMattia.
I'm Maddie O'Keefe.
I'm Joe Green.
When you went in the pool, it was the gap had started to close, and then you just went all out. What was that like?
Oh, well, I mean, my underwaters and my dive are kind of bad, so I knew that once I got into the open water, it's just about getting her in and picking the short rake up, starting to get the kick going, and then I could get her, because I knew that my time would probably be better coming off the block, because I watched her 100 free, and I knew that I could get her if I just picked the short rate up and started kicking.
Yeah, and so you could watch it closing. Now, you know, as we're coming down here to the final leg, as I was watching the two of you guys come here at the final end, the way you're swimming, your head's coming and facing him, and he was facing you, so you knew kind of where each other was. Did you know right away when you touched the wall that you would touch first?
No, not at all. No. I thought that I was going to touch second because I dove in and I was fine, and I knew that I just had to keep with the guy next to me, and then I started to tighten up, but then he started to tighten up. So then I was just like, I just need to like push, and then I was just like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but just gotta go for it, I guess.
Congrats to the whole swim team on a thrilling victory. Well, that's all for sports this week. Make sure to watch the Bulletin Board channel or follow us on social media for any updates on our weekly sports coverage.